Am I dead? Who's there? Am I dead?
You are not dead, mortal. You are reborn.
Hey everyone, it's Area of Effect with a not so out of the box build, but at least an original, the Zero Build. So when I first went to the drawing board with this one, I originally intended to make a hybrid build for the new Cyrodiil, and it was going to be a tweak on the Shackleplasm hybrid that I released over a year ago, as I noticed a couple of the sets were part of the included sets in the new Cyrodiil. But as I played more and more, I fell in love with incorporating both of those sets and that build backbone into a full-on MagSorc build, and that's what this video is about. But before we get into the main focus of that build, I wanted to show as kind of a bonus how this hybrid build worked. It was a lot of fun, it was very effective. I mean, check out the stat screen here. No Warhorn, just self buffs, over 5,000 weapon and spell damage. Look at the main resources, the recoveries. It's a lot of fun, very effective, and by all means, you could keep this a hybrid build if you wanted to. But I tweaked this into a full-on MagSorc while also keeping some of that backbone, that stamina resource and recovery, and it gave me so much survivability. Check it out. Just an almost unstoppable, endless resources build. So much fun, and I think you guys are going to love it, so let's jump in. Okay, so taking a look at the stat screen, you see it varies a little bit from the hybrid stat screen. We got 4,400 spell damage, over 41,000 max magicka. The magic recovery is less than the stamina recovery, but we do have dark deal, and that's why dark exchange. Sorry. Look at all the buffs on this build. We are Destro Resto, and you'll see why in the build as I get into it. We went that route. All right, so let's jump into the gear now. Our first 5-piece set is Shackle Breaker. We have a Shackle Breaker Inferno Staff Nirnhoned with the Berserker Glyph. It's going to give us dual stats, stamina recovery, magicka recovery. It's going to give us weapon and spell damage, and then it's going to give us 2,000 a piece of max magicka and max stamina. Sorry, 2,065. We've got a Shackle Breaker Restoration Staff with a double dot poison defending. That's our kind of our defensive bar. The double dots are just for proc, for an extra dot on command. You can't proc 2 Berserker Glyphs. You could put a Crusher there if you wanted to. Anyway, the first headpiece of a monster set is Dami House. Going to give us that max magicka and that max stamina. And Swarm Mothers, also going to give us max magicka and max stamina. We've got a heavy helmet and a light shoulder. Shackle Breaker Medium Jack with a triglyph infused. So we've got 1 heavy, 1 medium, and 5 light on this build. Light Shackle Breaker Sash, light Shackle Breaker Greaves. Amber Plasm is the next 5-piece set, and that's going to give us max magicka, spell crit, spell damage, and then 3 separate traits of recovery: 273 magicka, 273 stamina, and 273 health recovery. That works incredible with some of the new CP point unlocks and a tri potion as well. So a lot of our recovery there. Amber Plasm necklace, ring, and ring. We got these gold, and they are also all enchanted with the stamina recovery glyph. You want a lot of stamina recovery to break free and for dark exchange, blocking, dodge rolling. So you really don't have any issue with magical recovery or replenishment. So I like to go with stamina and PvP there. You can add magical glyphs if you'd like. So that wraps up the gear. Now let's jump into the skills. On the Destro bar, we have Crushing Shock. 3 elements deliver damage, and you interrupt the enemy, setting them off balance. What's cool is we have a stamina heal, Resolving Vigor, which even in Cyrodiil I'm standing in now, heals you for over 15,000 health over 4 seconds. Because of all the max stamina and weapon damage we have, we can use that stamina heal very effectively. Crystal Frags, obviously one of the key skills in a Sorc build. You proc that frag, it's going to deal more damage, it's going to deliver quickly. You got Mage's Wrath, got to have this as a finisher. Obviously, you load them up with it, it'll if they drop below 20%, over 13,000 damage it's going to deliver to them to add to whatever attacks like a frag you have. Empowered Ward, we still get 6,200 shield because our max health is pretty decent on this build. But it's going to give us minor intellect, increasing our magic recovery by 15%. Between the shield, the magicka shield, and the vigor, you've got so much survivability right there on your attack bar. We've got slotted Ice Comet. It deals a lot of damage, obviously right up front, and then a damage over time. It's good to get a stun off before that delivers so you can hit them unblocked. But this is slotted for max magicka and also magicka recovery under the Mage's Guild passes. All right, let's jump over to the Resto Bar now. We have Haunting Curse. Deals 11,000 plus damage to the initial target and 5,100 to the enemies around the target, but it goes off twice after a delay. It's great to stack up and line up with other attacks. Dark Conversion is what I was talking about. It costs 2,000 stamina, but you're going to get heals from it, and you're also going to give magicka back instantly and then magicka over time. Our next skill is Streak. It's a great way to get out of a pickle. It's very effective to move quickly, get behind the enemy. It also stuns them as you move through them. Critical Surge, obviously you got to have this. It buffs you up weapon and spell damage, making your damage of your attacks go up and the heals of Vigor go up, as well as when you damage an enemy with a critical hit, you get even more heals. Boundless Storm, no-brainer. Gives you major resolve, major ward, also attacks enemies around you as an AoE. Works great with Crit Surge. You'll automatically deal crit hits there sometimes and just get healing back just from Boundless Storm alone. Life Giver is our ultimate on this bar. Heals you for almost 12,000 health every 1 second for 5 seconds, and that could crit, by the way. But it also casts 3 skills at the same time. We have Radiating Regen, is the morph we picked. Combat Prayer gives you Minor Berserk, Minor Resolve, Minor Ward, and a big burst heal. And then Ward Ally is going to give you and an ally a damage shield. Depending on the severity of your wounds, the damage shield will be higher. And then Radiating Regens, obviously you saw its tooltip, it's a heal over time. So all 3 of these will cast on top of the ultimate's heal, and it just makes you so survivable, and also gives you some upper edge offensively with that Minor Berserk, especially since, wearing Slime Craw or something like that, monster sets and proc sets are no longer allowed. It's a great way to get some buffs. I even use it offensively, like I said sometimes. As a Sorc, you want to have, under the Daedric summoning skills, a stamina and health recovery buff by having a Daedric ability slotted on each bar. On one bar, we've got the Empowered Ward, and on the other, we have Daedric Prey. Keep those for your health and stamina recovery. Now, champion points. It's an entirely new system. Hopefully you guys have watched another video on some of the changes. I don't want to get into all those here, but there's a lot. I will just go over kind of briefly what we've unlocked and what we've placed in our 4 slots for green, blue, and red. So green is going to be all of your craftables, not a whole lot for combat. Breakfall is going to reduce fall damage, and there's some sneaking stuff there. I mean, some of these are kind of combat based, but that tree's basically for crafting, inspiration, looting, money, all that. So I'm going to jump right into the blue. All right, so in the blue trees, it's all combat based. We have got slotted Reaving Blows. When you deal direct damage, you heal for 7% of the damage done. That's excellent, since you can't wear Ring of the Pale Order. Wrathful Strikes, increasing the weapon and spell damage of our damaging abilities by 165. Untamed Aggression, more weapon and spell damage by 150. And Arcane Supremacy, increase max magicka by over 1,000. And those are the unlocks we've placed up in the top, but we also get the Insight there, which gave us more magicka, more stamina. There are some free ones which you don't like right here. Offensive Penetration, you don't have to slot that. Obviously the more CP points you have, the better, because a lot of these free ones are going to be easier to get, as well as allowing you to put higher values into them. But if you're limited on your CP points, I would definitely put it into Offensive Penetration for sure, and all of the free ones that you can. And you might have to navigate these carefully to unlock the 4 that I said you would need to slot. All right, into the red trees. The defensive tree, Boundless Vitality, increases your max health. Rejuvenation increases health, magicka, and stamina recovery by 150. Goes great with Amber Plasm. Juggernaut, while under the effects of crowd control immunity, you take 2% less damage per stage. We got 10% damage reduction. That's basically major protection. Strategic Reserve, 30 health recovery for every 10 ultimate you have. That is insane. And Juggernaut, just so you know, you want to have, I think, in PvP, because you're constantly going to be under the effects of crowd control immunity, because there's a lot of crowd control. You break free, and now you've got the immunity for 6 seconds or 5 seconds or 4, and basically even some skills like the heavy armor Unstoppable will give you immunity. Skills like that, Rally, Forward Momentum, all of those are going to also proc that 10% damage mitigation. All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap up this build video, the Zero Build. I hope you've enjoyed how this was laid out. If you like this video and you want to see more, check out my channel. I've got plenty more builds on my channel, as well as non-combat related stuff. So head on over there, and if you like what you see, throw me a like and subscribe. Area of Effect, signing out.